Back to the charts with Big Boss Crypto, bringing you on a day trading analysis on Bitcoin on Chainlink. Today we're going to take a look at what might potentially happen when Jerome Powell speaks. In a couple of hours, Bitcoin has been moving nicely to the upside, but is this a setup? Or are we moving higher after Powell has spoken? Well, let's find out. So I'm gonna start off with giving you the volume candles in the chart that hasn't been filled yet. We do have a big volume candle here, and some of it has been recovered, but not all of it, from 16.765k all the way down to 16.4k is your first initial target if you want to go short. We have one at 16.3, and we have one unfilled here at 15.9 down to 15.7k approximately. We might also see a potential double top forming here. We do have an unfilled volume candle in the zone from 7.3 down to 7.1k, and that is potentially going to be grabbed when Jerome Powell speaks, because I think we're going to move price like this, and then when he speaks, a spike up, and then a quick spike down, big spike up again, and then we're gonna see the trend either to the upside or to the downside. So my suggestion to you is to not trade until the news has come out. Wait approximately 1 hour after Jerome Powell has spoken, and then place your trade if you're not in one already. Zoom out a bit, we possibly have a structure. This kind of looks like a W. Last video I told you that we had potentially a double top. Now it looks like a W potentially. However, I cannot confirm this. As I told you in my last videos, 18.2k. If we break that, we will see a 20k Bitcoin. However, if we don't, I won't consider any longs. And I'm sticking to that, because if we break 18.2, then we have some unfilled volume candles in the 20k area, as you can see here. This big volume candle cluster here, all the way up to 20.4k. However, we don't want to trade at the news event because it will be volatile as hell. So in general, I don't see any particular structure except for the W bottom, but however, we have been forming a couple of them already in this area here. You could argue that this was a W bottom, you could argue that this was a W bottom, and now you can argue that this is a W bottom. But however, I don't see any clear structure until we break any points. So if you aren't in a trade, be careful, because price is gonna move quickly to the upside and to the downside as the speech from Jerome Powell continues. So we need more information basically to make up our mind how to trade these coming days. So let's look at the news that came out today, and we had a couple of them. We had the GDP number, which came out higher than expected. They expected 2.8%. We are at 2.9%. So people are still spending money in the US. Another interesting data coming out was the JOLTS Joe opening. They expected 10.24 million. They came out and said it was 10.33 million. And if it is more job openings in the market, that means a lot more people are seeking, employment, and more jobs are open, which means that the economy is still booming. And if more people are employed, that means more money in everyone's pockets, and that means inflation is still going up. We also did have this home sales, also good for inflation, bad for, I need to rephrase that. It's basically still money spending in the markets in general, in the economy. And that means that the Fed needs to do something to halt the inflation and basically reverse people's spending in general. So to do that, they need to increase their rates, and if they do that, the market will react and move to the downside basically, because then it's more efficient to hold the dollar. And if we take a look at the liquidation map, we can see some interesting things as well. We do have more liquidation clusters to the downside than to the upside, which means that people have been going long, and they will get liquidated if price moves to, first of all, 16.5k, and especially if they move price to 15k. Not much to grab to the upside. We do have some imbalances, as I showed you, at 17.2k. However, not many people will get liquidated. I think most of them got liquidated when they moved price to the current area at 16.8k. So they are wiped out. Now a lot more people are gonna get wiped out if price moves to the 15k area. So that's interesting information for us, since we don't have a general structure for Bitcoin, and that means maybe the market maker is setting this up in order to move price lower when Jerome Powell says something bearish. Now let's move on to our favorite altcoin, Chainlink. We love this project long term, and if you didn't see the video yesterday, take a look at that, because Chainlink long term is gonna be a big coin in the crypto space. And I think if you don't have a bag already, I think it's a good idea to start building your bag of Chainlink. However, we are day traders right now, and we don't care about the price. We just want movement to the upside or to the downside if we are day trading. For investing is a different kind of gameplay. But for the day traders out here, we do have some volume candles that are residing to the downside at 7.1 to $7. So around $7 is your first target if you want to go short. And we do have one down here at 6.9 to $6.7. If that gets broken, we do have invalidation of the W structure right here. So if we break $6.6, we could move down to $6 in the next move down. However, if we move to the upside, we do have some volume candles here at $8 and at $9. So the key points from today's video is that our friend Jerome Powell is speaking in a couple of hours. The market will be volatile. We will see spikes up, spikes down, and as the speech progresses, we will see a clear structure approximately 1 or 2 hours after he is done with his speech, and we will determine if they're gonna increase the rates even more or if they will pivot. But however, wait for the speech is over and that you can see a clear direction of where the price of Bitcoin is going. Also, point number 2 is that we have massive liquidation cluster to the downside. So this might be a setup by the market maker the last couple of days to the upside. He wanted to trap some longs, and then he will reverse price as soon as Jerome Powell says something bearish. They just need a reason to move price lower, and they might do so in a couple of hours. But however, we don't know. This could be like the bottom, and we move all the way up to 20k in the near term. But we need to break 18.2k before we can go long. That is my suggestion. However, it is not financial advice. None of this is. And this is all for education and entertainment purposes only. And point number 3 is that we are potentially witnessing a setup. As I said earlier, they have moved price since last week basically to the upside without any bullish news. So this might be a setup, because they always do like this. They move price to the upside aggressively before Fed does anything, and then they rip price to the downside. This might be such an event as well. And also the stock market has been moving up, and that is possibly an indication that the price will move down lower to the 15k area, after this speech tomorrow and on Friday. So that is what I'm looking at least. However, I'm waiting for confirmation. As always, stay safe. Big Boss out.